Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we are back. Not a ton to talk about this week, but we'll make it work. So, checked out this week. Look, a couple weeks ago, I watched this, and I didn't bother talking about it because it was my own sort of personal, that guy's a fucking weirdo. Maybe I'll watch this documentary on Netflix about it. Untold the Liver King. This guy's a psychopath, and a couple months ago, or maybe a year ago, he got busted for clearly using steroids. He always said, I only eat fucking bull's balls and livers, and that's why I'm so jacked. And people, for some reason, stupidly believe that. And he's a sociopath, like he just is. But the documentary is about him. And it goes up into the moment where he gets totally fucking busted, and then he tries to make amends or whatever. And I only bring this up because he was arrested last night in Austin, Texas, because he had been making. He was arrested for terroristic threats because he had made a series of videos threatening to fight or I guess kill Joe Rogan.
Yeah, because Joe Rogan was like, no, dude, like, you're fucking sauced to the gills, bro. Like, Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and it just appears that Brian Liver King Johnson is on a fucking meth bender. I don't know what the fuck is going on with that guy. I mean, his videos, I watched a couple of them yesterday. They're like those, they're like the Ultimate Warrior videos, like, Hogan, like he's just like ranting, and you're like, "What the fuck are you even talking about?" Like, this is the rantings of a madman. But Untold is like a series of just like documentaries that Netflix does on all sorts of things, not just about steroids or sports athletes, if you want to call him that. But that guy he's fascinating because his poor dumb family has to go along on this insane ride of we only eat fucking bull's balls and sleep on beds made of wood, and it's just with no mattress and shit. And then also we have a lot of guns, and that seems totally normal and not psycho type behavior. But anything for $1 and anything to make millions upon millions of dollars selling people a bunch of bullshit.
Man, fucking social media has killed us, man. It was the first step in our downfall. The internet was the precursor, but social media is the first real step to the downfall
in the pants.
of humanity. And as we were talking about the other day, AI and robots, once they start putting that stuff together, then we'll be done. We'll be in the Matrix, guys. We'll be batteries.
Yeah, no, look, can we still podcast from that, or can our fake personas can they do the pod? Can they continue while we're just living in a chamber like the fucking like Boba Fett or some shit, like in a Bacta tank? He's a weird dude, man. He's a super weird dude, and he's really popular. I mean, he's less popular now because apparently people were shocked to know he does steroids. I'm like, really? This guy?
I saw the only reason I know of this guy is I occasionally watch YouTube clips of this young guy who is into fitness, but he's trying to do it the right way. And he's super interested in all these different types of personalities and bodybuilding and stuff like that. And he did a little mini expose on the Liver King, his rise and fall. And I can't believe, people want to be ruled. People want to follow other people. And
they have that. Yeah, they have that in them. That's absolutely true.
It amazes me, man, because, they see this guy and they just, if you're charismatic enough and if you look like the way that people think they want to look, or you even just come off like that, right? Then people will follow you to their downfall, right? We're all a bunch of lemmings apparently.
Yeah.
And people would just be like, And when he got, people, hey, Liver King, this is for you, bro. And then just taking a bite out of a raw liver, right?
Why are you doing?
Why are you doing this? First of all, you're a beanpole, bro. Like just eating liver because a guy says, you are what you eat, right? If you eat greens and vegetables, you're gonna be a vegetable. But you eat meat, then you're gonna get big, right? Like he said some shit like
it's literally the argument of like a 6-year-old.
Right. He was like, if you eat a part of an animal, that part will go directly to benefiting the equivalent part that you have. So if you eat a cow's liver, it helps your human liver.
Like,
because
that's not how that works.
What? Like, just listen to that, guys. Listen to it. And then when he got to the downfall section, right? People were crying in the camera, like, "Fuck you, Liver King. I trusted you, and you were a fraud." What the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
Fault. That's your
fault. That's your fault. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, no, he's a wild dude, man. Like when all that shit broke that he was using steroids by More Plates, More Dates. When that all came out, like he was taking like something like $10,000 or $15,000 worth of drugs a month. Like that's how much drugs he was using, like human growth hormone and all sorts of shit, which is apparently pretty expensive. Like the wild thing is he actually lives like all that shit he says outside of obviously taking anabolics. Like he does all of that shit, like 12 walking miles a day with weights on his back. Dude, just do that. Like you don't actually have to do all of these other drugs. That's insane. But he wanted this very specific look. I'm like, I mean, is it okay? I guess. Like you're a bit of a weirdo. Yeah. So it turns out, once he completely got exposed for lying, he's just had what seems to be almost like a nervous breakdown. I mean, cool. All right, like anything for clout, man. Just anything for clout. Like
I forgot how he got started doing this, but he like it's a character, right? Like the Liver King thing is a character. But the actual guy had issues with he had issues with his son or something like that.
Yeah, they go over that in the documentary. His son had some sort of autoimmune kind of thing, like both of his kids. And so him and his wife were like, let's just go on this like pure kind of diet, right? And then it was like, oh, well, these things are benefiting them. And it like worked. And then he took that and made that into a whole persona of like the 9 astral tenets and all this other horse shit. And it's like, you could have just helped your family and you could have made a business and be like, hey, these are things that we do. And this has actually really helped us. Blah, blah, blah. People love that shit. People love a fucking magic secret hippy dippy bullshit. People love that. Why'd you grow the crazy beard and start like shooting deer and like biting into their fucking livers on camera? Why did you do that? Like, you're being weird, man. You're being really weird. So eating raw meat is not going to make you more jacked. It's just not. That's dumb. So, yeah, cool.
Also, why would you want? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like
why
raw
people
meat,
have
milk.
nothing to do?
I mean, like,
I'm not drinking raw milk. You're insane.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah. It gives
you
me more energy
in your brain.
Yeah. Well, if you don't, you soon fucking will. Jesus Christ. Like, yeah, he's a weirdo. Like, he's a weirdo. But shout out to him for getting arrested. Good job. He said the videos aren't going to stop. Oh, okay. I bet they will. Arrest your ass again. I bet they fucking will. So, yeah. The Untold, the Liver King story. It's on Netflix. It's fucking wild. And his wife is insane as well. The Liver Queen, as she's called, I believe. All right. You watched something else. Something I'm sure
I watched Elio. Because I let my kid watch TV, and now he's, every commercial he's like, I want to go to the movies. I want to go to the movies, which I don't necessarily mind because like I want that to kind of be our thing, right?
Sure.
Like he's a great movie partner because he's like, He doesn't talk. He doesn't. Like if he does, he's very, very polite about it, right? This is why I know that he is mine and his brother is my wife's, right? Like
I was gonna say this is nature. This is a nature nurture situation. Very much.
Yeah. He is a great movie buddy.
Awesome.
And I don't mind going to movies, especially movies that I think might be good. And this is a good movie. It is a shame that it is not doing well at all.
What is the premise of this? I don't think I've seen it.
So the premise is a young boy named Elio wants to. He doesn't like his life on Earth, and he is super into outer space, right? And he wants to be abducted by aliens because he feels like he's all alone and nobody understands him. And he's so infatuated with outer space, he just wants aliens to take him away from all of this, basically, right? Because like as soon as the movie starts, right, spoilers, I guess, but like if you've seen a Disney movie and this is a Disney protagonist, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
A parent's gonna die.
Dead parents. First thing you see. Yeah, dead parents.
What is the issue with that, dude? Like, it's a lot. Like, it's a lot, and it's almost always the mom, which I find to be weird as well. Like,
well, in this case, both parents are dead.
Oh well, it's egalitarian. All right, that's fair.
Yeah. So both parents are dead. That's literally the first. Like, we're not even 30 seconds into the movie. Dead parents. All right, and I the director. The directors were like, because like you said, like what is the deal with that, right? Yeah. And the parental figure was supposed to be voiced by America Ferrera, but she had scheduling conflicts, and the directors wanted to like really deepen Elio's motivation for wanting to leave Earth, right? Because like, you lose your parents at 6, 7, 8, whatever. You don't turn into fucking Batman. Like you wall yourself off and you hate life and you want to get away, right? And they were like,
and come back and fight crime, obviously,
right? And so they wanted to deepen his desire to want to get away. That's why the dead parents, right? But he does have a parental figure in his aunt Olga, played by Zoe Saldana. Elio was voiced by Jonas Cabreab. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And Zoe Saldana is the aunt who is like, she's got her own ambitions. She didn't want kids, but like she's next to kin. She's trying to figure out how to deal with this, how to deal with work, how to deal with this new responsibility. And it's a really good movie, man. Eventually, Elio goes into space. And he thinks he finds everything he wants there, but things happen. And then the movie kind of takes on from there. Look, man, like most Pixar movies, it's got heart. It's got, I tear up at movies quite a bit. And this is no exception. This is an excellent movie, but it's not doing well. And,
I wonder why.
Yeah, I mean, I have my suspicions.
What's the? Hold on. Let's see. Let me go look at the image of the. All right. Well, that appears to be some sort of Latin type character. I know a lot of people just hating on movies because they're not white characters anymore. So
yeah.
These characters looking a little too tan for me. I'm out. There's a bunch of dumb people on the internet.
Yeah.
A sad state we live in. It really is.
It really is. And look, one of the directors is directed Turning Red. That movie.
I love that movie. That was great.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. And what sucks is that
same art style too.
And what sucks is that they didn't give Turning Red a shot in theaters, and they found out, holy crap, it's really good, right? They did. So I guess they did decide to give Elio a shot in theaters, and it's not doing well. And it's a really good movie. So look, if you are into these types of movies, if you have a kid, or if you just like really like a sci-fi space adventure,
Yeah.
like this is more Star Trek than Star Wars,
Okay.
then yeah, man, Elio's really good. It's really fun, you know. It's kind of tropey, right? But like it speaks to kids without like being dumb about it, right? Like he's like my son is into like the Madagascar movies. Those movies are dumb, yo. Like they're dumb.
They're just kind of dumb. Yeah.
But movies like this aren't. And, you know, more movies like this need to be made. Also, original IP, man. Like, you can't complain about original IP and then not go see original IP.
Yeah, like, but just keep making it. I ain't gonna see it, but like, keep making it.
Right. Like, meanwhile, the next 3 movies Pixar has, I think, are all sequels.
What
is
coming?
it? Incredibles 3?
Hoppers, Toy Story 5? Toy Story 5?
5, yo.
Yo, it was a perfect trilogy. You didn't need to make 4. Like, you just didn't. Gato, Incredibles 3, another sequel, and Coco 2. Look, I love Coco. Actually, my daughter was watching that today, right before I came here. Have you ever seen that? You ever seen Coco?
No, I haven't seen it. Maybe
that was good.
I need to get him off of. I need to get him off of like dumb movies. I told him, look, once a week we're gonna watch a different movie because like you're not gonna watch the same fucking movie every week. So once a week we're gonna watch a new movie. So maybe I got him into Zootopia, thankfully, because I want to see Zootopia too.
Oh,
I'm
psyched for that. I love that first movie.
Yeah, man, that first movie's really good. It's about racism.
I mean, it is. Like, it's a racism mystery. Like, that's what it is.
Right.
Like, the classic Pixar racism mystery. As they do. Yeah, I mean, Pixar's had a fucking good run, right? Soul, Luca, Turning Red. I haven't seen Lightyear. Elemental.
People didn't like Lightyear, but
Yeah. I do want to see it. I just haven't gotten around to watching it. Soul, Luca, Turning Red, Lightyear, Elemental, Inside Out 2, and now was it Elio? Is that how you pronounce it?
Elio. Oh. I don't know. You tell me. The fuck?
Nigga, I didn't see the movie. I don't know what he said.
You live down there.
Ola, that's his name. Sorry. That's fucked up and rude. But Soul was excellent. I mean, it really was. Luca's really good. Turning Red was fucking great. I really liked that movie. Elemental was excellent in my opinion, and Inside Out 2 was excellent. So, yeah. Again, I don't understand not giving Pixar movies a chance. That's very weird to me. It's just strange. Like, okay, like they're one of the few studios. Like, oh, they put out a movie. Yeah, it's probably gonna be really good, and it's meaningful.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's actually meaningful movies. Yeah, guys. Turning Red is about a girl getting her period. Hello, like. And they did it in a way that weirdly was like fucking so good. It was like, yeah, and she liked boy bands. It's about Carrie. Okay, that's what Turning Red is. It's about Carrie if she was Chinese and Canadian. So there you go. All right, let's see. From there, look, I watched Ironheart. I'm almost through the 3rd episode. I'm like, I've got like maybe 10 more minutes of the 3rd episode left. Micah, you've not had a chance to watch any of Ironheart yet. So I will not spoil anything, but I will just give you my impressions. Look, shout out to one of our listeners who was basically like, hey, have you started watching it yet? And I was like, I was about to watch it in a few minutes. And then then he wrote to me later. He goes, yeah, it's very black, and he's our age, and he's like, it's very black, but it's also like very young, and the dialogue seems weird because we're old. Like that's the thing. Because I'm like, yeah, no, I got that. Because it takes a minute to be like, I don't talk like this. Like, I use plenty of slang, but I just don't talk like this, right? And what you realize is like, they talk like young people talk. It's like, okay, one, it's slightly annoying. Stop shortening words that are not making the word actually shorter. That's just stupid. But like as fuck and AF are not like, you're not really saying.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
right. You're being weird. You're just being weird. Not that they do that very specifically, but So that was like a little, like the dialogue felt a little hokey to me in the beginning, but then you sort of, your ear kind of settles to it. But I think that's just, it's quite literally just an age difference. Like it's not that the dialogue's actually bad. It is actually, it's got a story that I think is much more clever than the trailers give it credit for, right? Or lead you to believe. I won't spoil it, but there's a level of sort of trauma there with all good hero stories, right? There's a level of trauma there that they deal with in a very interesting way, considering what she can do, right? But it's pretty fun. If I had one like major criticism, this like crew of thieves that she kind of connects with so she can make money, they have no regard for like being secretive, which is very weird to me. They're like, we're gonna break into this place and we've got this huge, Ocean's 11 style plan, and then like two of the characters just like walk in and start punching people and they don't even have masks on. I'm like, like it just feels weird. But like the crew of people that she works with are exactly what you would expect in making a show about urban youth, right? So it's like in the modern day, you've got a person who is not a black person who's non-binary, who's a hacker, right? And you have another black woman who's like a explosions type expert. You've got these two women. I think they're probably Latin, and they're just kind of like the physical muscle, like they did like street fighting type of shit. And then you've got the Hood and his cousin, right? So like you have that team, and then there's also Riri meets this other guy, this white guy, who is kind of like, hey, you should probably do good things instead of like stealing from these companies to make money. Like there is a way for you to do what you're doing. And he's kind of like, not the moral center, because actually there's another character in the moral center.
Is he the magical Caucasian in this role?
Yeah, kind of a little bit. Like a little bit. That's a nice flip. I appreciate that.
Look, you want to, people get mad when you race swap, but like, hey, come on, if we're going to play that race swap game, we got to play it to the full extent.
Yeah. And so like he has access to certain things, like certain technology, which is revealed why that is, which by the way is a pretty good reveal, I have to say. And because everyone's like, oh, that's a big reveal. Try not to have that spoil for you. It's a good reveal of his connection to her. So yeah, like they're sort of loosely dealing with like, what's this Hood thing? Like, what is this about? Like, this guy's got kind of like magical powers. Like, what the fuck is his deal? And Anthony Ramos is pretty good. I mean, just walking around with one of those hoods on just seems fucking silly as shit. Like, but that's just the nature of that character. Like, it just is. Yeah. But yeah, all in all, it's pretty good. I actually think I need to look up her name. I don't remember. The young woman who is leading, who plays Riri. I think she kind of comes off better in this than she came off in Black Panther 2. Wakanda Forever.
Dominique Thorne, is that her name?
Yes, I believe so. Yes, Dominique Thorne. She comes off better to me in this. Like, I don't know, and it might be because her character was kind of felt shoehorned into Wakanda Forever a little bit, where she kind of gets a little bit of a chance to act and like be a bit more of a character. But I like her more in this than I did in Wakanda Forever. So because I was like, all right, I'm going to watch this, but I don't know how much I'm really into the character much. But in this, she has space to breathe, and yeah, I think she's doing a good job carrying the series. So far so good. And by the way, the show proves something monetarily. You can do Iron Man effects on a TV show now, like, and it looked pretty goddamn good. So that's kind of dope. Like they're not like, we'll show the suit for 30 seconds per episode. Like, yeah, she's in it and like flying around and doing shit. And it's like not in a distance or only at night, like, yeah. So the stuff looks good. This is dope. And Cree Summers is in it. She makes a little cameo. So that's kind of fun. Like physically, not just in voice, which is kind of nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So that doesn't.
All right. Well, by the time we do the next show, I'll have watched all of it. So you'll get my opinions whenever you get them.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be off after this week. We'll be off for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back mid-July. So just as a heads up. All right, science and tech this week. This is a fascinating fucking story. I actually heard this, like this popped up on my Instagram, and I was like, I'm going to go back and read about this later. Japan is on the cusp of probably one of the most significant medical breakthroughs ever, period. They are in clinical trials. I think they're in the second round of clinical trials now. This company in Japan for creating synthetic blood, and it's universal, right? Which is kind of unbelievable. Apparently, the first round of clinical trials went like perfectly fine. Like there are no issues. So people's bodies don't reject it. Doesn't matter what your blood type is.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking amazing. So it says, for decades, Japan has been facing a mounting challenge. A shrinking population and an aging society have led to fewer blood donors, even as the need for transfusion remains steady or grows. The situation is especially dire during disasters and in remote regions where matching blood types and storing donated blood are logistical nightmares. So they came up with this idea, right? Which is this approach involves extracting hemoglobin, which is the oxygen carrying molecule in red blood cells, from expired donor blood, then encasing it in a protective shell to create stable, virus-free, artificial red blood cells. Unlike donated blood, these artificial cells have no blood type, eliminating the need for compatibility testing and making them invaluable in emergencies. Apparently, you can store it at room temperature for like 2 years. So you don't even have to have it, like, which is also amazing, right? You don't have to be like, oh, we have it on ice or whatever. Like, you could just have a bunch of artificial blood, if this all works out, artificial blood, like in an ambulance all the time. And then people just drive around. Oh shit, we need blood. You can get people blood right there.
Yeah.
That's a significant medical breakthrough. That's unbelievable. Japan's
Meanwhile,
artificial
we can't even get high speed rail, for God's sakes.
Yeah, they're
over here. They're over here creating blood. Jesus.
Yeah, they're creating what was it? V, right? The vampire. Yeah. They drink on True Blood, right? They're doing it up. That's crazy. Yeah, Japan's artificial blood journey began with small scale studies, like in 2022 trial of hemoglobin vesicles, which confirmed the safety and oxygen carrying potential of these artificial cells. Now the effort is accelerating. In July 2024, Nara Medical University announced a clinical trial involving healthy adults will begin in March of 2025. The goal is to test safety and efficacy with hopes of practical use by 2030, a timeline that could make Japan the first country in the world to deploy artificial blood in real-world medical care. It's unbelievable.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
Gracious.
And I can hear the keyboards typing from idiots already. I ain't putting no artificial blood in my body.
Good, die. Good, die.
Hand me that canister of Skull as I type. Like, it's fine. Whatever, man. Whatever.
Yeah, whatever, bro. Just sit there and die then.
But I need it now. It's too late. No, this is awesome. There's a donor issue all over the world. I mean, there's always people like, oh my God, like we need blood. But just imagine like you having a situation where you have like in the last couple of episodes of that show, The Pit, right? When they had the mass shooting and they were trying to get blood, like they needed all this.
Yeah,
blood.
It's an emergency, bro.
But like 200 people had been shot. Like,
yeah,
there's only so much blood. So like people, they were literally taking blood out of themselves while they're working on someone, filling bags to give blood to somebody else, right? Like that's how crazy this shit was. You just fucking call these guys up. And, just bring a drum of this like fake blood and let's get it done. It's amazing. That's cool. Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable, man.
Yeah. See? Science, Science.
Science, yo. Like that,
Right.
that there it is. That is the American contribution to this story. Science, yo.
It's the best we got. Japan's doing it. We ain't helping. Meanwhile,
oh shit.
Meanwhile, we're like, why don't we take funding away from cancer for kids research? Cool. Great.
Yeah.
Because we decided to put a fucking person with a brain worm in charge of science in this country. Good job. All right, Micah, you got to be pretty happy about this news.
Look, when Amazon acquired creative control over the James Bond franchise, the first thing I thought was doom and gloom, right? Because gigantic corporations don't care about art. They see art as commodity. And it is, but like it isn't, right? So I was, fearing the worst, right? Like they got this worldwide brand. They creative control of this worldwide brand. They're gonna pimp it out. They're gonna whore it up. They're gonna make it like $7 Productions. You know what I mean? Like their movies. You know what I mean?
No, those are the good ones, right?
Red One. Yeah. Red One and Red Notice and
one notice.
Red Jungle Cruise and Red, I don't know, whatever. But look, man, I am wrong. I have been proven wrong, and I am not afraid to say it because the next James Bond film will be directed by Denis Villeneuve. Now, look, man, this is amazing.
Yeah, okay, I was not expecting this news at all.
I don't think anybody was, man. And Denis, look, I haven't seen every Denis Villeneuve movie, but every one I've seen, I've enjoyed, like a lot.
Yeah.
Right. And he doesn't just do like one type of film, right? Like he's got a very good eye, right? Like I've seen Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, and Arrival, and the 2 Dune movies. And those are very different movies.
Yeah.
They're all very visually different. But they're all good. And I can't believe this, bro. Like this is amazing. So we have a quote from him in a statement on the new project. Villeneuve said, quote, "Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a diehard Bond fan. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come. This is a massive responsibility, but also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Amy, David, the producers, and I are absolutely thrilled to bring him back to the screen. Thank you, Amazon MGM, for their trust." I mean, look, some stooge from Amazon said, "We're honored that Denis has agreed to direct the next James Bond chapter. He is a cinematic master whose filmography speaks for itself, from Blade Runner 2049 to Arrival to the Dune films. He's delivered compelling worlds, dynamic visuals. That's what I'm excited about. Complex characters, and most importantly, the immersive storytelling that global audiences yearn to experience in theaters. He's in the hands of one of the great. James Bond's in the hands of one of the greats. Look, yada, 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 wank, wank, wank. Look, man.
Yeah, like, pretty awesome.
Look, if Chris Nolan is Coke, Denis Villeneuve is Pepsi. All right? Like, those two guys are cut from the same cloth, man.
Yeah.
Like, they do quality work. And they do.
I don't like comparing him to Pepsi. I don't think that's fair. Like, how about that? I don't think.
Well, I need an A. I need a 1 and an A. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, I can't. I can't think. It ain't Coke and Pepsi. Like, no.
Yeah, Pepsi sucks, guys.
Yeah, Pepsi sucks.
I don't know what to tell you. All right, he's Coke and Sprite, which are both from the same company.
Like
but that's
Coke
fine.
and Coke Zero, right? Like whichever version of Coke you like, it's fine. You're not losing. Yeah, this is pretty great. This is a pretty great news.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited, man. Every movie that he does, it looks like striking. And what he and Chris Nolan are able to do, and Ryan Coogler, you could throw him in there, right?
Yeah,
what all three of those directors are able to do is they're able to take they're able to take high concept ideas and distribute and create art for a mass audience, right?
Yeah.
Like Inception shouldn't work, right?
Not as a mainstream film. Like
right.
as a nerd film, you're like, well, I really like Inception. Me and my 7 friends
right.
saw it. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But like everyone's like, oh yeah, no, obviously.
Right. Will Smith was offered a role in Inception in Inception, and he turned it down because he like didn't get it, right? Like
he also didn't get The Matrix, so I like pretty girls. Yeah, it makes sense.
I mean, I kind of get The Matrix, right? Because like at the time, the Wachowski siblings were, they were nobodies. And this is a high concept thing in like 2000, right? I don't think the world was really ready for it, which is why it blew the fuck up when it did, right? But Christopher Nolan was a proven commodity when Inception came out.
Yeah, by Inception, of course.
So, stuff like that shouldn't work. Dune, one of those unfilmable books, he did 2 of them.
He's doing the third. He's doing the third one.
Right. You got I haven't seen Blade Runner. It's in my pile of shame that I haven't seen it.
You should
but Blade Runner and Arrival are slow burn science fiction movies, man. And they work, right? Sicario is like it's like the most
Sicario
mainstream. It's really good, man. Like I'm incredibly excited about this.
Like here's my funny Sicario story, right? My stepdad is like, he's into movies like that, right? Like he just like dad fucking man movies. Like he just likes that type of shit, right? Like his favorite movie is Hunt for Red October, right? Like so this is like,
oh wow.
Yeah. Sicario is like, there could not be a movie that's more like, we're talking to you, buddy. Like you right there. Come watch this movie, right? Like, but he hadn't seen it, right? And he was here. Him and my mom came to visit. This was last year. And he's like looking through Amazon or whatever, trying to find, he's like, oh, what movies have you seen? Like asking me like something. I was like, have you ever seen, it popped up. I was like, you ever seen Sicario? He was like, no, I've never seen it. I was like, sit down and watch this. like, look, everybody going to bed. Like, just sit down and check this movie out. And I went to do something and like I came back and it was a scene where they go to cross the border, that fucking high intensity scene. And you're just like, oh, don't get out of the car. Oh shit. Like this is a bad idea, guys. That whole scene and like that scene had just started. And I just like, I walked behind the couch and he's sitting there and I just stood there and I was like, here we go. And he's like, I'm watching, he's like, the scene was over. He was like, damn, that was awesome. I was like, yo, this movie's amazing. This movie's amazing. And he was just like, he was like all in. I was like, yeah, it's incredible. Sicario is an incredible movie. Look, I've seen Blade Runner 2049, Sicario, Arrival, both of the Dune movies. I haven't seen Prisoners, which is a movie that's in my Hall of Shame that I haven't watched that because that's like his first or second movie, I think. But everything that I've ever seen by him, it's the same argument. Like visually, they're incredible. Like you haven't seen 2049, dude. It is Thanksgiving for your eyes. Like it really is, because the way in which he shoots, the color palettes he uses on the different planets, or not different planets, but like the different scenes or what have you, it's just unreal. It's unfucking believable how good it looks. And again, they said a sequel to Blade Runner, unfilmable. You could never do it. It'll never work. Okay. And Dune, you can never film it. It'll never work. okay. Like, no, like, I look, to me, it feels weird to be like, yeah, of course he's going to nail it. Because, like, you don't know, but, like, he's going to nail it. Like, he
Oh,
is.
of course he's gonna
fucking nail
right?
it. Like, it would be crazy for him not to. So I am super excited about this. Absolutely.
I am incredibly shocked and surprised and glad that Amazon is not just, at least not yet, just pumping stuff out just for the sake of pumping it out. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And look, I guess it's not really fair, right? Because I like those Jack Ryan shows, right?
Yeah,
I think they do a very good job with those, right? But when they had a movie, like they stumble, right? And
the Jack Ryan movies are generally since the hair.
No. I'm talking about when Amazon did Without Remorse, right? When Amazon did Without Remorse,
not good.
That was a bit of a stumble for me. But so I guess I shouldn't be surprised that like they're probably backing the money truck up for this guy.
Oh, 100%.
And they probably expect something really, really good, but they're taking it seriously, and they're taking it, with the Jack Ryan show is great, but it's not James Bond, yo. Like,
no, that's not. By the way, that untitled Jack Ryan movie started principal photography in January of this year, so wouldn't be surprised if we get a trailer here coming up at some point. Like,
all right,
look, I like that team, man. Like, I like the team behind that show. It gets a little insane, but I'm okay with that because it's like that's the world in which they live in. But I love the like in front of the camera team: John Krasinski, Wendell Pierce, Michael Kelly. Like, yeah, like all in. I like those guys are so much fun to watch. I'm super angry that show ended. Like, I really am. I was like, why? Why? That was my Jack Reacher. I like Jack Reacher, but that was my Jack, like type of show. Like, I was super excited. Like, Jack Reacher, I can kind of take or leave, and I enjoy it as it goes. But I'm not as excited about it as I was for Jack Ryan. Like, yeah.
Jack Reacher is lean back TV, and the other one is lean in TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Like, I have a hard time having Jack Ryan on while I'm working because I get sucked into the.
Yeah, you're leaning into it, like you're really like into it. Whereas Jack Reacher is like, all right, let me see what this motherfucker doing. Right?
Oh, that big nigga punched somebody. That's dope. All right.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. But like Jack Ryan is like, oh, all right, here we go.
What are we doing right now? Right. That's absolutely true. Yeah. So yeah, no, this is a hell of an opening salvo for Amazon. They're like, oh, you thought we were fucking around? Well, we're not. Also, how many of these movies is he getting? Like, is he doing a trilogy? Because,
I mean,
I like that idea. It's not like he hasn't done a trilogy before. He's about to finish up one. So,
yeah, that's the thing that's gonna kind of suck is that he's got to finish this other Dune movie, and that movie doesn't come out until 2026. Yeah. So we probably won't see this James Bond movie until earliest November
2027, maybe
2027.
I mean, here's the thing: there's a million other things coming out. Like,
sure.
Doesn't mean you don't want to see this right now.
I want to look. I got no problem seeing multiple movies in a month. Like, it's like, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, this is not a bad thing for you. So,
right.
All right. So there you go. Yeah, and I don't see anything about when part 3 of Dune hasn't started yet, but we'll see. So, yeah, but probably 2027 for James Bond. Amazing. All right, next up, the Punisher to show up in Spider-Man Brand New Day.
What? Okay. How's that going to work?
Can they even do it?
Can they coexist?
Cats and dogs living together. John Bernthal has appeared in several Marvel television series as a stone cold vigilante known as the Punisher, even headlining his own series that were not that good. But he will be joining Tom Holland in Spider-Man Brand New Day, the latest Spider-Man movie from Sony and Marvel. Obviously directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who's going to be directing it. And it'll shoot in England this summer with a July 31st, 2026 release date. Look, there's so much you can do with this character. I mean, the weird thing, Mike and I were kind of laughing about an article that was like, why the Punisher showing up in a Spider-Man movie is a bad idea. He would debut in a Spider-Man comic. Like, this is not that crazy.
Right. You got hired to kill Spider-Man, dude. Like,
yeah, like that story doesn't necessarily work because that would be very weird. But him showing up, I mean, one, we don't even know to the extent. It's not like Punisher and Spider-Man are going to be rolling around as like, hey, we're partners in this. Like, that's probably not going to be a thing. But knowing where we left Frank, I'm actually more interested in, okay, Frank escapes from, the Kingpin and all those like shitty cops. That means that Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to have more of a tie. I'm not so much about the tie to Punisher, but more of a tie to what's going on in New York around Daredevil, which means that Kingpin is likely at least going to be mentioned. I mean, he's the mayor of the city.
The mayor, right? He's the mayor.
So, like that potentially opens up a larger connection to the grounded part of that universe, which is actually kind of dope. The Punisher being there, like, all right, he gets out and maybe he starts like killing cops, and Spider-Man is like, hey, like, don't do that, or like, he starts trying to like, maybe he's trying to recruit other heroes, right? Like, it's kind of weird from a loner perspective, but maybe like he is somehow a connection from Spider-Man to Daredevil or something like that. I don't know. There could be some interesting ways to play it. Them being sort of opposites is kind of what makes it work, right? Don't you guys remember that Paul Abdul song?
With MC Scat Cat?
That's a wild name.
It is a wild name.
Disaster.
It means something totally different in German. Look, we don't know what, like you said, we don't know what this is going to be. I'm assuming the Punisher 45-minute, short special presentation is going to happen before this comes out. So that could have some sort of influence. Maybe it's a cameo, right? I can't imagine that, like you said, I can't imagine that Spider-Man and the Punisher are going to be running buddies.
Seems a bit,
but I think how do you feel about them using the Punisher like this, right? Because I'm into it, and I'm into the Punisher. People love the Punisher because like it's a white male power fantasy, right? And it is, but I do like the changes that they're making, right? Because like this white man power fantasy is like, yo, you cops don't do your fucking job, fuck you, right?
Right.
Which kind of turns it, and which the people who are like into the Punisher are like, well, wait, but what? Like it confuses them, right? And two, I like that they're using him sparingly. I understand that he had his series. To me, the series didn't do that well, but the character is so interesting.
Right.
It's interesting enough. I don't think he's interesting enough to like warrant a movie, right? Or a series, because then it's just like any other. It's low budget Rambo, right?
Yeah, arguably.
But when you use him sparingly, like you miss him, and then when he's there, he makes an impact. And I really like the Punisher making an impact in these things, right? They don't use him too much, right? Like even in that last Daredevil series on Disney, right? When he came in, you felt it.
Yeah.
And when they had that fight, when they had that fight scene, like, oh shit, like they're back, right? Like, so this weird, Batman and
slightly different Batman.
Yeah, like Batman and like worse Batman.
Yeah, Batman and Red Hood, basically. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Right. Whereas just like they come out and they do their thing, right, and like you're into it. I don't know. I'm into. How do you feel they're treating the Punisher as a character?
No, I think you're. I think
want
you're
more or you want less.
No,
Or
I
is
think
it
you're.
like-
No, I think you're largely correct. I think overplaying your hand is a bit much. By the way, the rumor is that the Punisher special presentation drops in March of 2026. And remember, Spider-Man Brand New Day drops in July. So you've got a 45-minute presentation that can put him in a position that makes more sense than where we left off, potentially. That maybe make that a little bit clearer, right? Maybe it's like, maybe I don't want to kill people next week. And he's like, I'm just going to head out to New York, see what happens.
Maybe they introduce the potential villain for Spider-Man, right? There's a rumor that Mr. Negative is going to be the villain. Mr. Negative is just is one. It might be his origin, right? You could do the origin of Mr. Negative in that presentation, so that you can just hit the ground running for the movie. Or what if he's just there? We are introduced to him through this presentation, right? Because he's a thug, he's a criminal, right? He's somebody that Frank Castle would go after, right? Until he realizes that like he can corrupt you. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe he corrupts him. Maybe he corrupts the Punisher.
Oh,
and the Punisher is after Spider-Man, right?
Oh, now see, that's a good plan.
And that's an ode to his origin, right? Of being the hitman going after Spider-Man. Like you can go anywhere with this stuff, man.
You know what? You heard it here first. That is a fucking solid fucking theory, actually, because that would actually work really well, because it would allow him to kind of fully embrace that. I mean, he's barely a hero. Like he's he's anti-hero. Yeah, there's levels to this shit, right? Like there are anti-heroes. He barely on the list of like he just making on the list of being an anti-hero, right? But you could allow him to just be like, he's corrupted and he's just going after Spider-Man, you know, as it's kind of like almost like a hired gun type of shit. That actually could be really fun. And then in the end, Spider-Man figures out a way to uncorrupt him or whatever, right? Yeah. I actually really like that idea. That's actually really
can you imagine the fight choreography between someone with the skills of the Punisher versus the agility of Spider-Man, right?
Right.
Like if because like the Punisher's smart, right? Like he's not a dummy like most of his casual fans, right? Like what if there is a way that he can figure out, oh, okay, he's got things coming out of his wrists to let him shoot webs. I got to figure out a way to get him into hand-to-hand combat, take those things out, and then you know we gotta go like hand in hand, toe to toe, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm just spitballing, man. But like, there's a lot of stuff that you can do.
Or he's also curious. A good shot, by the way. Like he's just
a hell of a good shot, right? And we haven't really seen Spider Sense in the MCU.
Yeah, very little of it. Very little.
Very little of it. Like we get like the hints with the hair standing on standing up on his arm and stuff like that. But we really didn't get to see Spider-Man like I don't know.
Like you saw a bit of that in Andrew Garfield's first Spider-Man movie, where the guy has he's standing next to that wall and like the guy's like shooting at him and he's just like dodging and shit like that. Like that's the kind of stuff you could do with Punisher going after him, right? Like, so yeah, I like the idea of him being corrupted because it plays to an homage to his original intent as a character in the comics, but it also allows him to do that and staying relatively innocent because it's like, dude, I'm not in control of myself, right?
Yeah, he wasn't himself.
Right. And then it also gives kind of a scary power to Mr. Negative that he can do this to a hero, right? Like, so that's kind of fun. Yeah, I really like that idea. Look, to your earlier point, do I like how they're using the Punisher? Yeah, I do actually, and I think your previous point about like when he showed up in that fight sequence with Daredevil, it had impact. Yeah, because he's not there all the time. I don't think that character works as a full movie character, like leading a film. I just don't think so, which is why all of his movies have never done well. Because there's nothing particularly special about him. It just isn't. Like
from a surface level, like from a level that you expect the mass audience to kind of, like it's right, especially with it's only going to get worse, right? Like we got 4 John Wick movies and a spinoff, bro. Like it's going to be very difficult to try and do something different. And the Punisher is not like a very stylized killer like John Wick is, right?
Right. No, he's just
like
brute force.
He's brute force and efficiency.
Right.
And
the only time, and to me, the only time that you can do sort of a heavier story with him is like his origin. Like I don't, what is it? That one Punisher with like War or whatever that took place in Vietnam, where you really got to see.
It's got to be the original Rambo. The one that nobody liked. Right. So they made Rambo First Blood Part 2, and it's just like killing's as easy as breathing, right?
Yeah, Rambo 3 is even worse. It is insanity. So, like, I feel like there's a bit of that. And look, I do like the idea of the special presentation actually being like him going after like Manucci and the mob, but then having maybe one of the people who works for Manucci ends up being Mr. Negative, like when he's just like a thug type of person, or he's like a competing, he's a competing thug since he's not Italian, and because the mob is racist. He's part of the triad. I don't know, whatever East Asian racist trope you want to use. I guess he's in the Yakuza. I don't know. And either way, like he gets his powers like maybe at the tail end of that through whatever reason. I don't really know much about Mr. Negative. And then he corrupts him. And then that sends him in. Or you show the corruption happen in the beginning of the Spider-Man movie. He gets his powers and he corrupts him there. And then it's like, oh shit. But Frank knows him from his presentation, right? Like maybe he knows him as the regular person. So I like that idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. And I think it would be really fun if Spider-Man is dealing with all of these other, lower level villains like from time to time. Maybe they're all corrupted or paid by Mr. Negative to go after Spider-Man. That could also make sense, right?
Yeah.
And Punisher is one of them. Like Punisher is just one of the guys who gets corrupted, so goes after him, and he's a formidable person to fuck with. So
yeah,
I like that idea. Next up, let's talk about What the Fuck, brought to you by JTD from the Edit That Out podcast. Micah, take it away.
A man. Okay. The title might give it away. Okay. A man with small eyes keeps triggering the car's asleep at the wheel warning.
All right, nigga, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. That's an unacceptable title. That's not okay. That's not okay. That's not okay.
And of course, the nationality of the man is in the title, but a blank man with small eyes keeps triggering the cars asleep at the wheel.
I assume Japan or China. This is fucked
It's up. Chinese, yeah, because it's fucked up. This is Chinese.
That is an unbelievably fucked up title. Jesus Christ. All right, go for it.
Excuse me. Mr. Li, a young driver from China's Zhejiang province, recently bought a luxurious Xiaomi SU7 Max, a beautiful EV sedan, powered by a powerful motor capable of taking the car from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.78 seconds. It's one of the most coveted electric cars in the world right now, but for Lee, it has been a pain to drive. Soon after taking his new ride out for a drive, the Chinese man started hearing the "please focus on driving" warning sound, even though he was not distracted and was watching the road in front of him. The message, "focus on your driving, pay attention to safety," kept showing up on the car's digital display as well, and it took him a while to figure out that his eyes were the problem. Quote, "I opened my eyes wide, and then I didn't hear the warning sound," said Mr. Lee. "But when I opened my eyes normally, I heard the warning sound again. Apparently, my eyes are so small that the car thinks that I am about to fall asleep." In his video, Lee complained that the car's fatigue warning triggered about 20 times during a short drive, which he found annoying.
A picture of this dude. Holy shit, dude. I oh, man. Come on.
Interestingly, many of the comments on the clip were from Chinese motorists who claimed to have experienced similar problems with other Chinese cars from brands like Link and Company.
But damn, it be your own people. Like, this is Chinese cars, you know? Like, that's crazy. They don't have like a homeland setting. Like, come on, dog.
Oh my god, us. Dude! Like,
you know, the pictures of this guy, like with his eyes normal and his eyes like kind of like bugged out, is offensive. Like, it's offensive to me.
I mean, for you Pokemon fans, he looks like Brock, right? Like,
yeah.
And look, we're not laughing at this guy, right? I'm not laughing at this guy. I'm laughing at the situation, especially because, like, this is a Chinese man driving a Chinese car. And, like,
I'm laughing at a bit of both. I'm laughing at a bit of both. I'm sorry. I'm laughing at a bit of both. Like, it's just, yo, that's a fucking hilarious stereotype. And how did they not program for this?
Oh, my God, dude.
It's in your country. You know what your people look like.
Oh my god, dude!
Come on, come on! It's that's like a black person making a car and it being like your skin tone makes it drive, and if it's too dark, it doesn't work. Like, come on, man! Like, we got Wesley Snipes out here. Don't do that. This is insane. But you know what? Shout out to him recording it or having someone record it.
Yeah, it was like, can you believe this shit?
Wild dogs cannot drag this out of me. This is offensive. I'm offended for him, and I know that I'm probably also being offensive. So my bad. But yeah, this is funny. But that title is nuts, yo. Chinese man with small eyes keeps triggering cars asleep at the wheel warning. I mean, come on. Oh shit, that's funny. That's funny. It ain't right, but it's funny.
God damn.
My story. Man discovers ex-fiance married him without his consent. The bizarre experience of a man who claims he was married to his ex-fiance without his knowledge. The 42-year-old man, whose identity was not revealed, admitted to having been in a committed relationship with a 36-year-old woman, and visiting a clerk's office to get a marriage license. However, the pair never made it to the altar. They got into an argument, and the man told his fiance that he didn't want to be in a relationship with her, but the ex-fiance had other plans. Earlier this month, just days after breaking up with his girlfriend, the 42-year-old man received a gift bag from Bath & Body Works, which contained some products as well as a copy of their officiated marriage license dated June 13th, with his and his ex-fiance's name on it, and a photo of his ex-fiance holding up the document legally recognizing their union. According to whatever website, a couple must show up in person and have valid identification to receive an application for the marriage license. But in this unusual case, this woman allegedly managed to get the local pastor to certify the marriage, even though the groom wasn't in attendance. She then took a certified marriage license to the local county clerk's office and filed the certificate with officials. Quote, "I don't think in 23 years I've ever heard of anybody who managed somehow to get married to someone who wasn't present for the ceremony." Where is this?
I'm Googling where are there the most Bath and Body Works.
Fair enough.
The state with the most Bath and Body Works locations are California, followed by Texas. I'm gonna say Texas because, like, I think Californians are a tad smarter than the people in Texas. So I'm gonna say Texas.
That is correct. It actually is.
Fuck yeah, man. That's called using context clues and research to figure out where ridiculousness is happening.
Right. I was like, this completely dumb thing is. Yeah, no, this woman thought she was fucking slick.
That's hilarious.
I mean, the weird thing is, my wife, when we got married, my wife was able to go down. I think maybe I had to sign a document or something, but she went and got the marriage license. Like I wasn't with her. Like I might have to sign a document or something, but I don't think I went with her.
We had to do it together, and we had to do it in Florida, and then have it sent up here.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did it together. Well, we had to do it together.
I guess maybe I was. I
You probably were.
I was sick. I was sick that week, so I don't like. I honestly don't.
You probably just don't really give a fuck. So
I'm here for the party. I mean, I don't care about the document. Who gives a shit? Although you're married, then it doesn't matter if you're as you are. No, but you were actually there when my wife and I got married, right?
Yep,
you were the only person because we had it officially done. Ironically, by our friend who is a rabbi. In our house. And then we actually did the wedding like a couple of days later out of town. Yeah, you were the only one there.
I was a witness.
You were a witness. You cried. I remember that.
I mean, I might have. I don't know.
Yeah, you did.
I cried at Elio. Like that. Right. That don't mean nothing. Your love don't mean nothing.
It's as good as a fucking solid Pixar movie. Got your friends, do you? I don't give a shit. I don't care. This woman should go to fucking prison. This is fucking insane. Don't do this.
Yeah, yo, what the hell?
Yeah, come on.
Why would you want to?
Look, here's the thing. You should have kept your fucking mouth shut. Like, you should have kept it shut. He's 42. He only got 30 years until he retired, baby. You get that money. Get that retirement. Can you imagine you go to retire? She's like, I need half. You're like, what the fuck? Surprise, surprise. But no, she's stupid. So
that's wild. Yeah.
You gotta play the long game, sweetheart. Play the long game. Trailers this week. Squid Game 3. Totally lost track of time here. That comes out Friday. It comes out in 2 days. So cool. I really like that series. You haven't watched the second one yet.
I have not watched the second season.
Good.
How long is it?
Maybe 8 episodes, something like
that. All right. Maybe I'll I got a long drive, so maybe I'll try to watch some of it.
It was good. It's got a good sort of flip on the narrative. So I appreciated that. I think it's only like 6 episodes.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, it's like
even better.
So I had a good time with that. Excuse me, 7 episodes. I apologize. I'm looking forward to this. I think the trailer looks, it's not giving up too much, especially if you haven't seen part 2. It doesn't give away sort of the big parts of that, which is good. I'm interested to see what they do because this is the final season, so they're done with this, and that's cool. I don't think it needs to last much longer than this. Player 456 is a very good character. He does a really, really good job. But it will be very interesting to see just how they do this. Because that last season was like they had a revolution, like on the island. So I'll be very interested to see how this all ends. And hopefully it's only like 7 episodes, so I can just kind of burn through it. Lucky, you were really excited for Guns Up?
No, I wasn't. I didn't even know what this was until you brought it to my attention, and then I see The Big Show is in a dad movie, and
Big Show.
Oh wait, that's not The Big Show. It's Kevin James. He looks exactly like The Big Show. He looks like The Small Show, And yeah, no, man, this this looks like somebody was a fan of Nobody,
Yeah.
and they decided to like make their own Nobody, and it doesn't look like it works. But the twist here is that the wife is in on it. Apparently,
Yeah, she's also
the
Christina
wife.
Ricci is also a badass.
Yeah, Christina Ricci.
Really
This doesn't look. Yeah, this doesn't look good, man. I got no interest in this. Kevin James is sure I don't know if he's like, I don't know what he's been doing. Yeah, this doesn't look good to me.
Yeah, like relatively silly. This feels like I don't have anything else to watch. So I'll throw this on. But
yeah, this seems like
not a
this
theater.
seems like I don't have anything else to watch, and I'm not going to watch this.
Somebody's gonna have to tell me this is really like dumb fun for me to watch this as kind of a put on in the background kind of thing.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to tell me that this is like really dumb fun, and I'm just going to have to believe them because I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, but it's Kevin James. I like Kevin James. He's all right, dude.
I don't think I've ever seen anything with Kevin James in it outside of Hitch. Right? I didn't watch King of Queens. What else was he in? Paul Blart, Mall Cop. I didn't watch that.
I've never seen that. No thanks.
Yeah, Hitch. That's the only thing I've seen Kevin James in.
Yeah, and he was great in that. Everyone knows. That was a really good movie, starring that guy who's having a midlife crisis right now. All right, the final trailer for the Fantastic Four: First Steps. All right, Micah, gush all over this.
I'm gonna see this a couple times, man. I'm gonna see this a couple times. One, let's get this out of the way. Facial hair makes any man look better, including a rock man.
Yeah. Okay. Apparently,
he's got a beard at the end of this trailer, man. Which is wild. I love the fact that they are playing with the idea that the thing that the Thing is most known for saying. He's like, no, I don't do that, yo. I don't want to say that. Like, no, yo, like that's it's kind of reminiscent of Ray Fisher refusing to say "booyah," right? And they kind of they were like, and they made him say it, and he gave the worst "booyah" ever, right?
Yeah,
booyah, right? It was terrible, right? I love that they're playing with this, right? I love that they're edging us with it's clobbering time, because once he says it in the movie, like all the Peter Griffins in the theater are going to be like, he said it, I knew he said it. Yeah. And look, this is the vibe. I mean, I was going to see this no matter what, but this is the vibe that I'm enjoying this vibe. I'm still curious about Reed, man. I really am.
They're keeping him really under wraps.
They really are, because I'm very curious to see how Pedro Pascal is going to play him. The fact that people are like, are we going to be okay? And he says, I don't know. Like, that's not Reed, right? And Reed wouldn't say that. And so I hope that the movie is able to get that across, that Reed Richards would never admit to normies that he doesn't know something.
Right.
Reed wouldn't say.
That's how dire the situation may be.
That's how dire the situation is, right? Like, I hope the movie can convey that. But yeah, they're keeping him very close to the vest. Mm-hmm. Even with his powers, right? Like, they're not going all out, which, I think I'm fine with. Well, I'm definitely fine with it in a trailer, right? Like, you see hints of him like stretching and stuff, but he's not like really going all out. And I'm curious if that's going to happen in the movie, or if it's just too difficult or weird of an effect for people to kind of buy.
I think they're holding it. My guess is they're holding it for the trailer, and you will see a lot more of it in the movie. And for exactly the reason that you're saying is that it is difficult, but I think they don't want to have people prejudge it, right? Because seeing something for a second isn't the same as seeing it in the context of the movie, right? Like there might be like a weird thing, the weird way he's moving, and they show that, but that's when he's first learning how to walk, and then people are like, "That's what it's like the whole time," and you just cut the entire movie judgment with that, versus at the end, and it's like, all right, Reed is like really this well-to-do fucking understanding character and knows how to use his powers in like way more intricate sort of ways. Like thinking of like the Tim Story movie, seeing how they used Reed like in that last bit of having him like turn into a ball and then wrap around Doom, and like you can do a lot of really, I mean, it didn't look amazing, but there's kind of cool shit that you can do.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably holding that. One thing is clear. They understand that Johnny and Ben's relationship matters.
And look, I don't know who this guy playing Johnny is. He's nailing it. He's nailing it. And I saw people like, when the actor came out and said, "Yeah, we're not gonna have Johnny be like this hoe, right? Like we're not gonna have him be a womanizer, right? Like." And then people were flipping out like, but that's Johnny. He's with like, calm down, guys. Calm down. The essence of the character is not he's a man hoe, right? Or a hoe, right? Because like man hoe implies that women are hoes and men are different. That is not the essence of the character. The essence of this character is what is being portrayed on the screen. I think it's very interesting that the Thing is he's kind of solemn in a lot of this, right? Like he seems in these trailers to be like, hey, he's not like, all right, let's go do this. Like he seems very like,
yeah, not yet.
Yeah, not yet, right? Not yet. And I think it's because, he's still coming to grips with the fact that like he's a freak, right? And, but there's a scene in the trailer where he's sitting there looking out at the world with Reed. And it's pretty obvious that like Ben is consoling Reed, right? Because because Ben has the heart of gold. And I think his arc might be, he's got he comes to grips with the fact with what he is, right? And the whole clobbering time is a metaphor for that.
Exactly. Embracing who you are. Yeah.
Right. You just gotta until you can, if you can figure out how to get through this, fine. But if not, like embrace who you are. You are this thing. You are the thing that everybody loves, right? And I love how Sue she is supposed to be, according to rumors, she is supposed to be the quote unquote leader of the group. I love it because, one of the metaphors for the invisible girl, as she used to be called, is that, nobody took her seriously. She felt that nobody took her seriously. Right. Like she was invisible, and the whole thing was that no, the woman whose power is to not be seen is going to make people see her. You know what I mean? As a woman. And so I'm cool with all three of those, but Reed is a mystery. And as a Doom fan, it's pissing me off, right?
I want to judge him now.
I want to judge this fucking asshole Reed Richards, right? I want to judge him so bad, and I can't. But it just makes me want to see this movie even more. Yeah. All right, look, man, this is it, man. This is it. If this movie does not make it, does not do it, I don't know what I'm gonna do. If this movie doesn't do it for me, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you're fucked.
I am fucking boned, bro, because I it looks so good, man. It looks
does.
really, really good.
It does. And here's the thing. I do think it's going to do quite well, and I think it's going to be a good movie. I am very interested to see what the response is to the aesthetic of the film. Right? I'm not worried about what I see on screen. I understand what they're trying to do. I'm interested to see how MCU fans are going to take to this and be like, oh, that's kind of a weird world, right? Because everyone wants to see different things and different universes and stuff. It's a different universe, and it looks and feels different. People look and talk different than. I mean, everyone is trapped in sort of a Mad Men 1950s sort of world. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull this off and does it work. That being said, I really do like your idea of the sort of the metaphor for embracing who you are through Ben. I think that makes a lot of sense. And that idea of like once he does reach that zenith, that's when he'll feel comfortable saying the catchphrase, right?
Yeah.
And then that sort of makes Ben into the version of the thing that we know, which is like, hell yeah, let's go fucking.
Yeah, the ever loving blue eyed thing, man. Like, cause like he's the mascot character. Everybody's gonna love the thing. Look, my son today, we saw this trailer when we saw Elio, and today he knows the Hulk, right? Like he likes the Hulk, he knows the Hulk. But he said, "Who was that other Hulk? That Rock Hulk? Remember from the movie, from the preview? Who was that Rock Hulk?" I said, "That's the Thing. Like he's great. Like you'll love the Thing." He was like, "Yeah, he's kind of cool." And it's like, "You want to see that movie?" He's like, "Yeah, I think I want to see it." I was like, "All right, well, you're gonna see it after I see it first, because I'm not taking you to see that first. I need to be alone with this.
I need to be alone.
I need to be focused. All right,
right.
Like, you're a great movie, buddy, but like, I might buy the seats next to me because I don't want nobody next to me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be into this shit."
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what people think. I'm very interested to see that team dynamic.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's all of what it is, but all of that is all super interesting in and of itself. I want to see what happens. We won't see it in this movie, but I want to see what happens when they come to the regular MCU, because that is going to be such an interesting dynamic change for them to be the only heroes on their world, to then walk into a world where there's tons of fucking heroes and they're fucking everywhere. There's tons of people who are smarter than them or as smart as them, right? There's a little black girl in fucking Chicago who's as smart as Reed is right now, right? Like, right. It'll just be interesting for him to come into this world of like, holy shit, like, this is insane. And like him taking on all of that, the Thing is no longer a freak. He's just a common character, right? So how does he distinguish himself from the Hulk? You know, he's not just a Rock Hulk, as your son wrongly stated. Are you even paying attention? What are you, 6? What a jerk. But like, he's no longer, he's a mascot character for his team, but he's no longer alone as just like kind of a general weirdo, right? So like, how does that all work? There's a lot there that will be just fascinating. But I want to see. I mean, we've seen images of Galactus. It looks really good. Like, what does that look like in real time? You know, like, yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. What about Silver Surfer? Right? Like, she looks cool. She looks super dope. I was laughing with Cam. It was like, only in 2025 could nerds be angry that there is a woman who isn't wearing any clothes who has superpowers. Like, this isn't what I asked for. I wanted the dude. Ugh, fine.
Yeah, I wanted the naked dude, guys. I wanted the ripped silver dude.
Yeah, and with the Ken doll situations going on there.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It's weird.
No, you're weird. Okay, if you say so. So
right. Happy Pride, I guess. And then if you say that, then they'll,
I went to the
all
straight. I went to the straight.
right.
Yep, and that's definitely what a straight person would do. Yeah, no, I think this looks dope. I think they're gonna nail it. I think that Thunderbolts was a turning point, like a real turning point for them, and I think that they feel like they're back on track, and I like that. So if this hits, yeah, man.
Look, if this hits, you're not gonna. I mean, look, and look, I don't necessarily care what. I want it to make money because I want them to make more, right?
Yeah,
but it doesn't matter.
That's it.
Right, but like apparently Thunderbolts did not do well financially.
Yeah, it only made like
$450
$450 million or something.
Right, given how much money it cost to make, right? But that movie was great. I really, really enjoyed it. I want this movie to be good and to do well so that they keep making more of these. And yeah, man, the dynamic between the four looks super interesting. But I want to see, you know why I'm here. I want to see the dynamic that they have with Doctor Doom.
I don't think Doom is in this at all.
I don't think he is either. I'm thinking of the future, man. I'm thinking of the future. I'm thinking of the post-credit scene that will inevitably be here. I think that's where we finally get our first glimpse at what Doctor Doom might be. And yeah, man, I'm.
And here's the thing: I don't even need to see Doom. Okay, let me just say this. This is in my perfect world. This is the post credit scene I want. I want in some castle, whatever fucking universe it is. I don't even know. I don't even need to know. I want to see him just like that Thanos post credit where he's like, "Fine, I'll do it myself," and he fucking puts the glove on. You're like, "Oh shit, son, it's coming." I want something like that. Just a voiceover of Doom, and he just picks up the fucking helmet and he goes to put it on, and like you just see him. All you see is the very lower part of his face as he puts the fucking helmet on. That's it. And like you throw up the hood and just walks off screen or some shit like that, and then just him saying something like "fucking read" or some shit like that. That's enough. That's enough.
You know what I
want to hear that voice. I want to hear that voice.
Yeah, I want to hear Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom voice, right? Because it's not going to be his Tony Stark voice.
I would hope
God,
not.
No. Please, God, no.
Yeah, it should be digital a little bit. By the way,
I want this Doom. I want this Doom to have destroyed the Fantastic Four, and he sees another Fantastic Four group come in.
That's interesting.
And be like, what? Fucking Richards, right? Like that's what I want. Yeah, man. Look, this trailer, excellent. Yeah. It gives, all of them. They've all been really great, and I don't feel like I've had the whole movie ruined for me. You know what I mean?
No. I mean, this one you get a little bit of a glimpse of like a couple of spaceships and like some sort of space travel type thing. Other than that, it's all been set in the city. Like you really have not seen anything. You've not seen anything with Mole Man. No reference whatsoever. Like,
yeah,
good. I don't want to know that. I want to just go in and just be like,
John Malkovich is in this movie, guys.
Yeah, who the fuck is John Malkovich? He's not fucking Galactus. Yeah. So like, I want to just go in. I want to sit down, hit fucking play for me, and then just be like, it's all a big old surprise. That's what I want. Same with Superman. I've seen enough.
Yep.
If they put out another trailer, I'm not watching it. Like, I've seen enough. I know I have a general sense of what's going on. I've seen him punch a couple people. That looked fun. That's enough. That is enough for me. I'm good. So, I'm already all in. So, July cannot get here fast enough. So,
yeah, man.
Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. This comes out July what?
25th.
Yeah. How about this, buddy? I'm gonna be in Baltimore early August, so I'm gonna see this here because, of course, I am. The second this movie comes out, and you and I are gonna go see this movie. If it doesn't suck, when I get there as well. So,
Look, hurry up.
Yeah. I try. I was like, can we go? I was like trying to edge my. I'm like, let's go in July, like the end of July. Oh, we gotta wait on this thing. Fuck. Fine. God damn it. So
Look,
I was trying to get there so like I could see Superman and Fantastic Four. That's what
look. If this movie is good enough, is good that is as good as I think it's going to be. I'm probably going to watch it multiple times. So because I've been
if
waiting,
this and Superman are good, I'm definitely seeing them multiple times.
Yeah, I've been waiting a long time for a proper Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
I don't utterly hate those Tim Story movies.
No,
but
I don't.
But you know, they're good fodder. This, nah, man. I'm expecting really, really great. The bar is high. The bar is high.
Look, the bar for me for Thunderbolts was like moderate, and it exceeded it like quite easily. So if this is on that same, like I feel like they're getting back to, hey, our movies are fun and they feel really good to watch and all that, but they also have something to say. Because I feel like that kind of faded away a little bit, and I feel like people are like, I don't like all this woke shit, and I'm like, that's why those movies worked. Because they had a larger message. And when you start just making comic book movies where the characters are just walking around punching things and flying around and it doesn't have any deeper meaning, that's why you can just watch and be like, like the Deadpool movies, as fun as they are to me, they're Chinese food, right? Like right after I finish it, I'm like, I don't even think about it.
And even then, like they do have themes, right? Like they have themes about relationships and found family and stuff like that. And like
it's just not as tightly wound into the.
It's not. Now look, to use your Chinese food analogy, the themes are in a fortune cookie, right? Like that's about it. But they are there,
right?
So
and I think they've largely fallen away from that, or they did. And I think that's kind of why they got a lot of like, it's fine. Like, I don't feel like, and maybe I'll have to go back and watch, but I didn't feel like there was a heavy theme in Doctor Strange 2. Like, I just didn't feel like there was something that they were like really trying to say besides like really digging into Wanda's fucking pain. But like, that show dealt with it. Like very, WandaVision really dealt with what she was going through, where this was like, we're just going to pick up and just kind of run with that. And it just didn't feel like it had any heavy weight behind it. Thunderbolts had heavy weight behind it. Like when you have those heavy narratives behind it, that's when people go, damn, that movie was good. Oh, and it was about that. Like, and then you start kind of pulling into the movies, and that works really well for these type of films because they can easily just be, as you always say, like just jelly beans, right? Like, just a bunch of fun action and then just turn off and then that's it. So, and I expect the same with Superman. Like that's the type of person Gunn is, right? Like all of his movies have a deeper meaning, which is why his shit works. Even Peacemaker does.
Yeah.
So, Fantastic Four First Steps looks really good. That's the final trailer. Cannot wait. All right. Any other final thoughts before we get out of here?
See you in 2 weeks.
All right. Later, guys.
See you.